I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hi everyone, I'm your host Akilah Ffriend with AfterBuzz TV, and we're going to be talking about all things Love is Blind. You know this global phenomenon, and you also know this new guest that I'll be bringing in, and we'll talk about everything behind the scenes, all her moments, all of that. It is Diamond Jack. Welcome, Diamond.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm so glad we have the opportunity to chat and to talk more about your experience. But I feel like before we get into that, so much has happened over the past few weeks. How are you, girl? Like, how are you feeling? How's everything? Let's talk about it.
Girl, everything has been crazy. As you know, we got a lot going on in the world. I've just been staying safe. I've been praying up. I've been protesting. I've been, just keeping a positive mindset for everything that's been going on in the world. So how have you been?
Right. I mean, honestly though, I feel like it's been the same. I feel like Love is Blind really came in a moment where obviously we all were undergoing, or soon would be undergoing, the quarantine. So that made it that much more important. But then lately it's been, I love that it's been all Black everything, but at the same time, it's just highlighted so much, like you said, prayed up, like focusing on your goals, like focusing on the ones that you love, and just really figuring out what the community as a whole is all about, and talking to folks about that too. It's been eye-opening in a good way to a lot of people, but it's been kind of reassuring to me too. So exactly. No complaints. Yeah. But let's talk about Love is Blind though. That's what the people came to see. Okay. So how about we start from the very beginning? Like, how did you find out that you would be a part of Love is Blind?
Yeah, I had one of the producers has reached out to me, and we were going back and forth with, Skype interviews and phone interviews just to see would I be like a perfect fit for, I guess, the group of girls that they were bringing into, the house or on the show or experiment, shall I say. And so, I was communicating with the producers, and actually still cool with her today. Love her to death and her family. But and then they said like, hey, we want you on the show, and we think you'll be a good fit for the show. And I was like, oh, really? Like when you get certain opportunities, sometimes you just like, really, me? I'm that, and I was like, okay, right. Great. At first I was a little hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I want to do it because I don't know, just like when they were explaining some of the things that were going on the show, it's like you get a little scared, you're a little nervous. Like, yes. I can potentially marry someone I've never seen before. Like, hold there. When they told me the whole story, I was like, hold on there. But then eventually the producers explained it very well. And honestly, I was like, wow, this is adventurous. This is something awesome. Like, I've never done something like this. Maybe I can possibly be my husband. So that really just got me really excited. So that's why
that is amazing. Wait, so the producer literally just reached out to you out of nowhere, like a DM or?
I can't remember exactly what happened, but I feel like it was something like that. Or,
wow.
Someone told me of it. It's either someone told me about it, because I feel like I've seen the flyer several times, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. But I feel like someone either was like, you should do it, or somebody reached out to me and then the rest was history. So I was like, it's literally. Yeah, because it was going on for a while. Even auditions took a while, like the callbacks and everything. So I'm like, at this point, I'm looking at my time like, you know what? If you guys don't know what y'all doing, I'm just gonna have to do something. Like, I got a job, I got other things I gotta do. I gotta give them advance notice before taking off. We got jobs. So
right.
Like, y'all gotta let me know ASAP by today. 12 o'clock. I really did that. I was like, y'all need to tell me by a certain time.
I love it. Give your deadlines. I appreciate that. Well, take us to the first day or your first moments. Like, how did the pods feel? What was the overall vibe when you started meeting some of the other folks?
Yeah, so at first, you always go with my mindset. I went in the house like, oh shoot, I hope it's not with cattiness. I hope it's no, we fight over each other, guys. Like, you just automatically think the worst. But honestly, it was complete opposite. The girls and I, we were all friends. We were all cool. There was no beef. I mean, there's certain times that you felt like, wow, like, okay, she like the same guy I like. So, you know, a little jealousy come through. Or not for me, but I was sitting like, oh, did he just tell her the same thing he told me?
I remember that.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking. Oh, no, we're going to have a conversation when I get in that room. You know, that's what I was thinking. Like, you're not going to play me. You know, that's the first. I'm like, you're not going to play me on national TV. But it was actually not, it was totally the opposite of what I expected. We were all supportive on our side. I don't know what happened on the guy's side, but I know for the girls' perspective, we were all supportive. There was a little things like when you know, Amber and LC, they were liking us, and Jess were liking the same guy. I think that you got a little uncomfortable at certain times, especially if we're all in the same house. It's like sometimes you just don't even want to hear what the other girls want to say about their dates, because it's like, wow, like I really like this guy, and you find out he's liking that guy. There's certain times that we got really uncomfortable.
Wow.
But no fights.
It's true. We didn't see any fights. It seemed like it seemed very emotional. It seems like you're too much in your feelings to even be thinking about, you know, the fights of it all. Was there anyone else, I mean, before we get into Carlton and all of that, like, was there anyone else that you had your eyes on, or that had their eyes on you, that we just didn't see as the viewers?
Yeah, I mean, I made connections. Like, my top 3 choices was it was actually Cameron, Carlton, and Mark. So those are my top 3 choices. I felt like I made like more of a connection on all the guys that I went on dates with. And so I was looking forward to my dates with those 3, because I was so excited. So I was like, oh, I really like them. So it was just more of like, who do best fit me, or who do I really, my personality really mesh well together, what connection I'm making with each guy. So those are my top 3 picks.
Okay. I mean, you see what happened with Mark as of a few days ago. Like, have you been in touch with him or LC?
No, but LC, I already knew about it before everybody else found out about it. Elsie and I are really cool. Like, we talk all the time, and she actually told me about Mark before it got to this point. So when they first started talking, and I was happy for her. I was like, okay, girl, okay, I like it. I was like, but you know, I was asking her questions too, like, but did you like it when you were in the pods? You know, like, did you see that connection? But they didn't have that connection, I guess, in the pods. And Mark was like into Jess, and Elsie was into Barnett. So that's how it was. But yeah, I just recently seen that, and she had called me. It's funny because I had talked to her earlier that day, and I asked about him. She's like, we're good. He's going to be over tonight or whatever. And then after that, I remember what was I doing, girl? Oh, I think I was cooking. So I was cooking, and I get that message, and it was like, kept calling. I'm like, dang, I'm blowing my phone up. So I looked, and it was LC, and she sent me pictures. She's sending me this. She's like, you know, messaging me like, I can't believe it. And I'm looking like, oh shoot, let me call her. So I don't call her, and we talked about it. She was so upset, and like, it's horrible. I don't agree with it. I don't like that he did that to her, for sure.
Yeah. It seems like it came out of nowhere too.
Yeah, for you guys.
Right. I think like as an outsider, I'm like, this came out of nowhere. So I don't know. And for folks watching, like, what I know we're kind of circumventing the situation where we're talking about is really between Mark and Elsie and them dating and scandal that happened with that. So y'all look it up if anything.
The thing that really got me, girl, was the fact that I guess he went to visit the girl, the other girl. Elsie drove him to the airport and picked him up, and he knew he was going. Girl, that's all I'm gonna say. That's the tea I'm gonna give y'all next thing. That really
listen. No, but we heard that tea. Can you imagine?
Heard it? Oh, yes. Okay. I didn't know she told everybody that, but
no, it was in the blogs. It was in the blogs.
Okay. But yeah, I was like, girl, he got his nerve. How you gonna go take them to the airport? And let me tell you, Atlanta airport is not close. So nobody wants to do that drive.
It's like, it's literally commitment.
She drove from there to go see another girl, and then picked him up after he went to see another girl.
I can't. You know what? Let's get back to you.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna get back to you. We'll be here all night.
Like, we really would be, because I mean, but this was too hot to not even bring it up. And you said Mark was in your top 3, so I'm just, You know, do you feel like you dodged a bullet at this case? Or are you still friends with him?
Yeah, I don't have no beef against him or anything. I haven't talked to him since the show or since the reunion. But do I feel like I dodged a bullet? I mean, I think everything happened how it's supposed to happen. So yeah. And the truth always comes out.
Let's say that. What did you love the most about the process, and perhaps what did you love the least?
What I love most about the whole process is the fact that the guy could not actually see you. I feel like the best thing about the whole experiment is that they actually get to know you for who you truly are, besides looking at you. Because I feel like you judge people when you first see them, you know, and not even giving them the opportunity or the chance, you know, to be like, oh, you know, fall in love or really get to make that deep connection. I feel like our generation is totally different than what our parents grew up in. You know, I feel like they made like that deep connection. My grandparents are still together and they met in high school. So like, years.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Over 30, 40 years, 50 years of marriage, you know what I'm saying? So I want that type of love. And, you know, just having that connection with someone, finding your true person, your soulmate. And that's the one thing that I really loved about the show is that we can have those conversations. They have to listen, you know, so they really have to listen and find that person. Wow, I'm really making a connection with that person versus like, oh, wow, she bad or she cute or she hot, however you want to, you know, you describe a woman.
Right.
But yeah, you really get a chance to know them for who they truly are. And that's what I loved about the show. The least thing I guess I didn't really like was in my situation was the fact that people weren't being honest throughout the whole experiment. We found out that people weren't being honest. We found out that people were hiding things. And I think that really hurts the next person because it's like, wow, you're not thinking about the other person, their feelings. You're only thinking about yourself. But I get why, and to bring that up, I get why he did it. I do, because he was scared. But at the same time, we had those deep conversations. I feel like you should just said it. I mean, if you are comfortable with who you are, and that shouldn't be something that would be hard to just say, hey, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. And you never know. He didn't give it a chance. You never know what could have happened. You know, it might have been either me or someone else that might have been like, you know what, that is perfectly fine. You just, this is okay. And I still made that connection with you and I want to still get to know you, but he blocked it at the beginning.
That's real. That's real. Well, you know, we're definitely going to get into that, but I think first I want to know more about what made you fall in love or want to pursue Carlton in the first place.
Carlton and I really had like a really cool connection. Like when we were in the rooms, it wasn't like forced. It came natural. And he was such a gentleman. He was, you know, so sweet, so nice, hilarious. So it was just really natural connection that we used to make when we were in the pods. Like I said, I was talking to other guys as well, but out of all of them, we would just have fun. Like I used to look forward to my dates with him. And there are guys you just be like, oh my God. And I remember sitting in the pods, and you'd be thinking and hoping it's the guy.
Yes.
Waiting for it. And then you hear the voice, you're like, oh, that ain't him. But then you still gotta be like, okay, you know, still trying to not make the other person feel something. I'm like, dang, how did he get in here? And I'm like, maybe I was his top choice. You know, like you started to think, like, why I'm on a date with you? I haven't talked to you in like 4 days. You know,
right.
That's what I was thinking. But I'm like, maybe I was his top choice. I don't know. But there's some guys I'd be like, okay, well, let's just
gotta get through it. Right.
Girl, one guy actually fell asleep on.
Oh my God.
So bad.
Was it someone who we end up meeting, or was it kind of like, you know,
no,
they didn't make it to the end?
It was someone else, but I was trying my hardest to say, well, girl, I had to start walking around the room. Like, Diamond, say that's so rude. Like, I didn't want to be rude, but I was just it was not there. Like, the conversation was just not there for me. And I'm sitting there like, God,
it is what it is.
And I didn't have my phone. I didn't know what time it was. I'm just sitting like, dang, it's 10 minutes up, 15 minutes up. And I'm just like, don't do that, don't do that. I was trying
I
to
didn't think about that as a benefit of being in the pods. It's like the person can't see you, but if you're face to face on the date, you gotta even front to be engaged.
Yes, you gotta be.
You're in it. You're in it.
Yeah. I couldn't say, excuse me, I'm gonna be going to the bathroom.
Right.
And then don't come back. Like, you can't do that. I don't do that anyway, but you can't just
Right.
leave. I was just sitting there just walking around, strolling in the room, just like, stay woke, stay woke. Stay woke.
I want to get back to something you were saying. No, this is great. I wanted to get back to something you were saying earlier too about Carlton, like, you know, if he was upfront or if he had at least given you or someone else or whoever the chance to really make that decision earlier. Like, do you think if he was upfront with you about being bisexual that you would have stayed or, you know, figured it out? Or how do you feel about that?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I had gotten that question a lot. And honestly, I don't know what I would have done when I was there. Honestly, I've never been with a guy that was bisexual. So I don't know what comes along with all that. Most of the guys I date was into women. And just, I would love to have had that conversation with him in the pods, you know? And I could have made a better decision or made a decision based off of that. I don't know. I really don't know because I didn't give that opportunity. Right. But the tea, girl like you, because I like you. I you gotta give people the tea. I do not give people the tea. I just be quiet and just be like, just cool it. We probably on a good day. Girl, apparently some other girl found out, you know, he was liking or whatever, and she told him that if you would have picked me, then we might have been married. I found that out through somebody else. Yes, girl, but that's a whole nother story. Because
wait.
Yes, girl. Okay, so Carlton had two girls that he could have choose from. It was myself, and he also was making connection with another girl that was on the show that wasn't really seen as much because I guess at the end he ended up not picking her. He ended up picking me, which was also kind of hurtful. But he said in some of his interviews that now, I heard one of his interviews with, I forgot what show it was, but he had said he wished he would have picked his second choice. That was his exact words. Yes. And somebody was like, well, who was your second choice? And he was like, well, her name was Brianna. And I ended up finding out that she had, after the whole little reunion we had, she had said something to him or to someone else and said that he should have picked me anyway, and I would accept him for whatever. Yeah, girl.
What? Really?
Whatever. Honestly, I'm
you
like,
don't believe
what's stopping y'all now?
You don't believe it?
Well, what's stopping y'all now then? If you feel this way and you feel this way, hello, we got 2 years span.
True.
Y'all could have kept it going.
True.
Like Elsie and Martin. Hello. Let me stop. You're gonna get me in so much trouble. I'm gonna get a phone call after this interview.
You're gonna get phone calls and people saying truth. Speak the truth.
No, I'm talking about producers. Ring, 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 ring. I'm like, oh, damn. And emails.
I can't believe that. Wow. And wait, so no one asked you to comment on that either? Like to say, well, what do you think?
No, because
what do you think about somebody telling you were engaged to him at the end of the day, but he was already thinking that actually I should have chosen someone else, or that it was still an option? Like, how did you feel hearing that? Or you're kind of just like, well, whatever.
Honest girl, I hear so much from him and that side, that team. I don't know what to believe. Honestly, I'm just being honest. One thing he say something else, and one day he say something else that contradicts what he was saying. Like, I don't know, girl. Because at the end of the day, we've seen that he been trying to, at one point, was trying to get back together with me after a 2-year whole, 2 years ago, or a year and a half, however you want to calculate it. It wasn't like yesterday or 2 months ago. And then he wants to get back together with me. But then at the same time, I heard that interview saying that he wished he would have had picked the second choice. Girl, it's so much tea with that.
It's so many things.
It's so many things. And it's just so weird. And I'm just like, I don't got time for that. Y'all stay over there with that. And y'all get together.
I get that. I get that. I would say too, you received a lot of backlash from, and I'll keep my opinions, but you received a lot of backlash about the discussion that you had with Carlton when he finally admitted to you that he was bi. Like, how have you been handling it? And do you have anything to say to the folks who said X, Y, and Z about you specifically?
Yeah, I mean, how I've been handling it, honestly, I just stopped reading messages. Like, I hope people who are saying positive things don't think I'm just ignoring them, but it's to the point that I just stopped looking at my messages because it was just, you just never know what people were going to say about you. It could have been positive, it could have been negative. I'd rather just not read it at all because I don't have time for the negative. Because I'm very opinionated, and you know, I'm from Chicago.
Come on now.
To not hold my tongue. I really do. But I'll be like, Jervis, can't do that. And I'll just be like, you know what? Just to eliminate all that and being tempted to say something back, just don't look at it. And then for the people who, they don't know me. They really don't know who I am. And a lot of people would say this and say that, but they don't put themselves in that situation. Honestly, if you were in my shoes, what would you have done? And a lot of women probably won't even done half the thing that I did or said or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then you have people who are just so disgusted and feel some type of way. And honestly, I'm like, okay, well then you can go date him.
True.
He's still single. That's just how I feel. Like, if that's what you prefer and that's what you like, it's a preference. You can't get mad at someone if they say, hey, I want to. And then honestly, I was being supportive when I was there. When he told me about his sexuality, I didn't go off. I wasn't being upset. I was actually trying to be supportive. I put my own feelings aside to be there to make him feel better because honestly, I didn't know if he was just coming out. I don't know what was, I don't know how he was. Like, I'm really just trying to be there to listen and just be supportive to him and let him get it off his chest. And then I was like, okay, in the right time, I can be able to say, well, how I felt. And I did get that opportunity to say how I felt. And when it was my chance to do that, he did not allow me to do that. He shut me down and called me out my name. That's the number one thing that always would get under my skin. If a man, especially somebody I'm about to walk down the aisle with, feels comfortable to say, Diamond, you are or whatever. Degrade me, say any name besides my name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're going to take it to that level, and that's a low level, there's no reason for us to be together. Like, you showed me how you truly feel about me. You're supposed to be uplifting, supportive, pushing me for greater things, vice versa here. And listen, now I don't want a relationship with somebody who cannot communicate well with me and make me feel like a person, like feel bad about myself. That's not what I want. Like,
I get that. Another thing too that I realized when I was, just watching it, he mentioned on the confessionals beforehand, like, his sexuality and that this was something that he wanted to slow, he was scared about when he would confront it with you or tell you about it. And so I think that put the viewers in a situation where we all was almost in on a secret, except for you. So I'm curious if the confessionals, because they were done before while you were in the pod, right? Or was it afterwards? Because I'm curious when did y'all, or like when did you guys do the confessionals? Because I'm trying to figure out if it was as it was happening, or did you do confessionals after everything was kind of filmed?
No, we did confessionals while it was happening. So,
he knew from the beginning.
And everybody knew for sure.
Right.
But myself and the other girls did not know. Now, I don't know about on the boys' side. I don't know if he told anybody or if the guys just picked up. I don't know. Because he was around them and you can see him and, so I don't know what was happening on the guys' side. The guys nobody told me anything until the day that he decided to tell me.
Yeah.
Nobody. And the girls, the same thing. I think, I know. A lot of girls did not know. They was like, what? They was just as surprised and shocked as well when they found out what was going on. But actually, when I finally left the show, some of the girls who had left the show previous, they were sending me texts and messages. But I'm like, by the time it's too late, because they took our phones away. And they were sending me old pictures of his Instagram, which he's completely deleted. But old pictures of him and everything. And they were sending me all the pictures like, girl, look, we gotta warn you from the girls from the show. Yeah. I was
of him with other men, or him just,
Yeah, because apparently he was on, I don't know, it was a dating site for gay guys.
Okay.
I don't know if it's for gay or bisexual. I don't know. It was a site that you can meet the same sex. So I got sent that message. I got sent photos of him and stuff, yeah. And by that time,
you didn't have your phone, right?
I did not have my phone, but I already knew by that time because he already told me. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thanks.
Yeah, because I think that would help, honestly, if viewers just know, like, the fact that we all had weeks of watching this show to really know that he was bisexual, to know his sexuality and know how he was dealing with it. you had a day, and then you had to process that within that same day. So
less
hopefully,
than 24 hours. She told me that night, and that morning we taped it. So like less than 24 hours to like really sit and think about this. Like this was a lot to take in. And then the crazy thing is to be on national TV. So it's like you could never erase it.
True. All I know is I was bumping Beyonce after that. After that scene.
That's so funny, girl. A lot of people heard the song for the first time. I was getting other ladies like, I've never heard this song, and I'm over here singing up to it. I'm like, go ahead.
Love it. So when Carlton re-proposed to you at the reunion, take us to that moment then, after all of this that transpired. Like, how did you truly feel?
Girl, it was all on my face. I was sitting there like, what are you doing? I don't know what he thought he was doing, but he was saying it was more of, he knew I was not going to say yes. Like, girl. But he got on one knee, and I think he was more so just trying to say, I'm sorry. So start a friendship off is what he was trying to say. Now, he says that. But when he got on one knee, I was definitely a little nervous. I was like, what's about to happen? But then afterwards, it was just weird. The whole thing was weird. So I don't really think that was a sincere apology. I really don't. That's just me being honest with myself. I think the world knows too. After the whole reaction after the reunion, it was crazy between him and I. And I don't talk to him at all.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because I read before that you blocked him. Is he still blocked? What's the situation?
Yeah, girl, he's still blocked. Yeah, he's still blocked. He sure is. Now I heard he has some fake accounts that he's able to get on my page to see what I'm doing. I just don't know which person it is. If I find out, it's gonna be blocked too. Let me find out who you are.
Carlton, reveal the accounts. Reveal the accounts.
I heard he got some little fake accounts to be on my page still. Girl.
Oh my God. You know what? With all of this, how do you approach dating now? Like, are you dating anyone now? How do you approach it after Love is Blind? This was a lot.
Well, it's kind of funny how COVID happened. So after, the show comes out and then the COVID happened, it stopped me from actually being out into the public and meeting guys and all that stuff. So I think I needed that, honestly. I felt like I needed that time to process because it was so much going on from after the show to the people and the people saying crazy stuff. So I needed that time just to sit, be by myself, understand myself, reflect, have my self-care Sundays with my bubble baths of wine and turn my music on, my old 90s. Like I had to, girl, because I had to just get my mind back to, encouraging myself. It's a lot when you have the world, well, some of the world, like I won't say the whole world, but people in the world attacking you in all directions. Like sometimes you don't even know how to deal with that. I've never been like attacked like that. And I'm sitting here like, what? I'm like, Mom, I'm calling my mom like, she got her new boyfriend now, by the way, but
okay. Yes.
I'm starting to get off.
Give me the tips, Mom. Like,
married. And they just met. And I was like, well, I can't really say nothing because I was proposed to a guy for a couple of days. So have fun. But yeah, they like really serious. Happy for her. But with me, I just needed that time to just be by myself. And I thought about doing some dating apps. Like I have friends who've been like talking to me like, girl, you should try this date now. Now they have opened up Georgia and opened up, a lot more things. Now I feel like, okay, maybe I can go meet someone and maybe go on dates. But I'm just going to take it slow because you just don't know. People are crazy.
You really don't know. You really don't know.
You really don't know. But I had some guys that I was just like, we'll have like FaceTime dates or whatever. So yeah, I have a little options.
Let's say, okay, options. Well, we're rooting for you. we want to be in the loop. We want to know what's going on when it comes to this. As you've seen, Love is Blind season 2 is coming out. Their casting is underway. What advice would you have for folks who want to be a part of this, who want their shot at finding love through the pods?
Yeah, I should say be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be true to yourself. You go on this show, don't act like someone that you're not. Like, please don't. Because like I said, it's gonna come out. Be who you truly are. And if the person can't accept you for who you truly are, then that's not the person for you. Move on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's somebody out there, I feel, for everyone. And that's not, don't fake it just because you want a check. Or a bag or whatever you want to call it. Because honestly, it might not be worth that bag at the end of the day. Girl, can you? No, I'm not even gonna go there.
Wait. We done what? Left, right, center.
Can you imagine if I would have just stayed and just, said F it, whatever. Can you imagine?
Something else would have came up. Right.
Girl, first off, I heard that he was no. Girl, I heard this person gonna tell me to like the day of the wedding. Girl, can you imagine our mom? Girl, my whole family. First off, my mama got 8 brothers and 6 sisters.
Yes. Yes.
I have so many cousins. So I don't even know if they would allow all my whole family there. Because if you saw the wedding, it was like 3 people in the seats.
Right.
I'm just like, I have a big family.
Yes, love it.
Imagine what could have happened if that would have happened at the altar.
Right.
So I'm so happy Netflix encouraged him and was like, you got to tell her now. Because I don't think no, girl.
That wasn't his plan. Okay, I mean, that makes more, because it was the whole scene. It was like, we needed the plan. We needed the development. We needed what was going on. And wow. Well, like you said, everything happens for a reason, because I'm glad you at least found out early enough.
Me too.
I mean,
that would have been.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't have been able to release it on Netflix if that would have came out. I was like, this is not what we represent. No.
Right. No, this is, I mean, it would have been a lot. I think on both sides too, because he would have been stressed too for the wedding. Like, he would have been very stressed. That would have been a lot.
It would have been very intense, very stressed. We all probably would have fainted. It would not have been good at all. Sorry.
Well, I mean, sometimes we remind ourselves, like, this happened so long ago, like 2 years ago is when this really went down. Like, what have you been up to since? What have you been up to lately? Give us an insight of what's going on in your life.
Well, finally getting out.
Yeah.
Feels good, right? Finally get to see some sun. No, I was kidding. But no, I am finally getting out. Jess, I'm still cool with Jess. I'm still cool with a lot of girls on the show. Elsie, cool. Jess, Lauren, by the way. I'm supposed to be working out with her, but I've been skipping it.
Love it.
But Jess actually will be coming here this weekend, so we're supposed to be hanging out. I haven't seen her since actually the reunion. And then have a couple dates finally. Yeah. And then for me, I actually been working on a lot of things. Like, I have my own business now. So I'm so excited about that. I'm gonna be launching. I have my own beauty line. I actually partnered with Tori Spelling. So me and her are together. Thank you. Doing our own thing. It's my lipstick, by the way. And
okay, then, tell people the shade. Let's know the shade. I mean,
it's the lipstick, by the way. And then I'm actually going to be launching my own business this summer. So I have a lot of good things that are coming.
I love it.
And possibly more TV time. So I can't say too much, but we'll find out eventually.
Okay. I was going to, so you see yourself potentially doing reality, or you will be doing more of this?
Or I might do one more reality, honestly, to be perfectly honest with you. But I'd rather move more into acting and do more movies.
Gotcha.
I'd rather do that.
Cool.
Honestly, that's my heart to where I really rather do. But I would do another reality show. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Well, I mean, I feel like the camera needs to see more of you anyway. So that's amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I mean, is there anything else before we wrap up? Anything else you want to tell the folks? Like, if you don't already know where to follow you or what have you, things that folks want to know, or anything else you want to get off your chest regarding Love is Blind.
Not really. I think I said my piece with Love is Blind. I just wish the best of luck for the new contestants that are going to be on the show. And you know where to follow me. Like, that's pretty much it. I am _Diamond Jack. That's pretty much all my social media platforms. And it was so nice talking to you.
It was so good talking to you, Diamond. And thank you everyone for listening. You can find me at Akilah Ffriend. That's with 2 Fs. And catch us next Wednesday, and every Wednesday thereafter, we'll be talking to more folks from Love is Blind or all things Love is Blind in general. Thanks again for watching, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
I think big enough secret for, you know, less than 24 hours. They didn't do exactly F you, F all this. I think you're completely right.
Welcome to